Today I ducked up by pulling my boyfriend's weenie. This is not satire. I wish it was. Let me start with that. My partner is staying at my house for the week while my parents are away. We're doing the typical boyfriend-girlfriend stuff, sleeping together, jingalinga, cuddling, kissing, showering together, etc. My boyfriend takes significantly longer showers than I do. He spends between 20 minutes and an hour. I typically spend 10 to 20 minutes in. We had a shower a few days ago and I left to get dried, giving him some alone time. He likes to spend some time by himself meditating. Little did I know, his meditation today was merely time for him to plot. Once I heard the water go off, I went to give him a towel. I took it by accident and admired his naked body inside of the hot water mist. Naturally, I got curious. While he was air drying, waiting for me to hand him a towel, I went up to him and played with his ding-dong. I was just hitting it off my hand while he was drying his hair. It was mushy, so it was hitting off of my hand quite easily and felt good against my palm. You know those door stoppers that people play with? That was the way I was hitting it. Back and forth, up and down. Not actually. Just curious about the male body as an assigned female at birth. At one point, he said to me to squeeze and pull it. Thinking this was the beginning of some sort of after-shower jingalinga, I did. This was a mistake. After my gentle grip had wrapped about his pee-pee and I tugged it a little, I heard him rip the fattest, juiciest, earth-breaking fart I have ever heard in my whole life. His little trick was the equivalent to the pull my finger trick with a bit more spice. He was laughing his head off while I retracted myself in disgust. I left the bathroom, raging at his stupid prank while the smell of the fart lingered behind me. TLDR, don't pull your partner's weenie. It doesn't end well. Guys suck. Edit. A lot of people are asking my age. I am not 12. I just did not want to get shadow banned again. Also, assigned female at birth refers to me being non-binary. I was just trying to make a funny story a bit funnier with the other language. Lighten up, guys. Smiley face. Edit. I am a non-binary person who refers to myself as she, they. More specifically, gender fluid, but I didn't want to confuse all the older people. I am not here to debate my gender. I also refer to myself as his girlfriend. I have used the word choice for his PP as a joke. I am not 12 or 13 or a child. I just have a funny story I wanted to share. Yes, fart jokes are funny. Yes, I didn't use the D word or P word because I didn't want to be shadow banned or the story turned into a weird jingalinga skit. Stop being mad. Have a problem? DM me. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. Edit. Side note from Sam Tales. She wrote the bad word for PP over and over, which I can't write. Not kidding, it was like 30 to 40 times. Anyways, hear what she wrote afterwards. Happy now? Also, I don't want to talk about my gender, but before all these edits, people kept bringing it up. Before you comment, ducking use your eyes and read some of the abuse I have been receiving. I don't give a duck what you believe in. I'm not debating this anymore. I will now be ignoring all comments about my gender. As I said, DM me. I was trying to keep my comment section a fun and healthy place to be. Clearly some sickheads need to ruin it. Also, not a child for the last ducking time. Now it's time for some comments. One user wrote, "Stop lying. You are a child, lol." Another one wrote, "Ah, funny. Now to business. It takes you 20 minutes to shower? I'm going to need a step-by-step set of instructions from you to give to my wife." Opie replies, Step 1. Go and shower. Step 2. Shower. Step 3. Leave the shower in 19 minutes and 59 seconds. Hope this helps. Story 2. AITA for checking out of my bestie's wedding and then her life. Last year, my friend announced she was getting married and wanted me in her wedding party as a bridesmaid. I was super excited as I had moved to a different country and saw this as an opportunity to make a trip back home to see and celebrate with her. At this point, We had known each other for over a decade, and even though I had made a permanent move abroad, we always made an effort to travel and see one another. The bride is in the military and has been posted all over the world. Therefore, her wedding party consisted of bridesmaids from 3 different countries. At least 2 of the bridesmaids, including me, had to travel by plane to attend the wedding. Approximately 1 month after her announcement, I found out my husband and I were expecting our first baby, meaning I would be 6 months pregnant while at the wedding. I told the bride and she was ecstatic and even mentioned wanting to be a godmother to our baby. I was nervous to do such a big trip while so preggo. However, I made plans as I did not want to miss being a part of my friend's special day. Unfortunately, my husband was unable to attend due to work commitments. I made the journey and reunited with the bride at her wedding venue on the Friday evening. The wedding was taking place over a weekend, and guests were staying in assigned rooms at the venue. The bride and I cried when we saw each other. We had been through so much together and were overcome with happy emotions as we both entered new chapters of our lives. Now to the other bridesmaids. At the Friday night festivities, I was introduced to the other bridesmaids, all of whom I'd never met before. Most of the bridesmaids did not know one another. One bridesmaid in particular, who had also traveled from overseas, was immediately hostile towards me, berating the new place where I lived and asking me many loaded questions, while we were standing in a large group of people. I ignored her for most of the evening and focused my attention on the bride. This bridesmaid then showed me to my assigned room that was incredibly basic and tucked far away from the other rooms, especially the bride's, and also there was no bathroom. Instead, I would have to walk down a large corridor and up a flight of stairs to a communal games room where there was a toilet and a small corner shower. I would not have minded this so much if I were not so pregnant, now getting up to use the bathroom multiple times in one night. This bridesmaid then took it upon herself to give me a tour of the other rooms, all of which were decorated beautifully and had ensuits. After a restless night spent stumbling around in the dark attempting to locate the toilet, it was finally the day of the wedding. The bride was stunning, and the wedding ceremony was beautiful. I was very excited to see my friend so happy, and could not wait for the rest of the celebration. The itinerary of the day stated that during cocktail hour, the official photos would be taken of the wedding party in the grounds of the venue. While walking from the ceremony site to where the pictures were to be taken, I was accosted by the same snappy bridesmaid from the night before. She stated there had been a mix-up with the rooms and I needed to vacate the one I had been assigned immediately. The room was being reassigned to a couple who had arrived late and needed to leave their suitcases in the room prior to attending the rest of the wedding. I asked where my new room was going to be, to which I was told there was not another available room, and they were trying to figure out where to put me. I initially mentioned that I was not comfortable with doing this right now as we were supposed to be doing photos in the next couple of minutes. The bridesmaid said that wasn't an option and I needed to pack and move my things now. I don't know if it was shock of the situation or being so pregnant, but at this point I just burst into tears. I walked to the room and began packing my suitcase to move. Maybe if I was not pregnant and exhausted from the flight across an ocean, I would have stood up for myself. However, regardless of how rude this was, I gave in. I asked the bridesmaid if the bride knew about this, and she stated that she did, and it was actually the bride's idea to have me moved. I was suspicious if this was the truth. However, I realized it must have been true. While I was packing my suitcase, the rest of the wedding party had all their photos taken. The fact that the bride did not ask where I was or have any pictures taken with me was incredibly hurtful, and I was very confused. When I saw the bride again at the reception, she never mentioned the fact that I was absent from all the photos. At this point, I just wanted to go home. Therefore, after the lunch reception, I left, found a hotel near the airport, and ordered some overpriced room service. While saying goodbye to the bride, She never asked why I was leaving early or where I was during the photos, which again makes me think that she deliberately made me move rooms to avoid having me in her wedding pictures. I cried pretty much the whole drive to the airport and tried to make sense of what just happened. I received a text from the bride a couple of weeks later. Again, she never mentioned the fact I left early or that I was absent from all her wedding pictures. The text said that she wanted to get me a spa day, which feels like some weird way of her trying to apologize. I racked my brain trying to figure out if I had done something wrong. The only thing I can think of is that she did not want a pregnant person in her wedding pictures. AITA for still being upset and not responding to her text. We have not spoken since. Comments. One Redditor wrote, "You don't actually know that any of this is true. It could very well be that Bridesmaidzilla is the one who made everything up, lied to you, and then lied to the bride about you. I don't know. Do you have any reason to think the bride would be so nasty to you? I know it's possible for brides to turn into nasty people, hence the term Bridezilla, but there are typically some indicators that make it plausible. Let's say bride knew nothing. From her point of view, you bailed on her, you disappeared during photos, and then you just left. And you never said a word to her about anything. If you're friends, you use your words. Call her up and talk to her. Tell her the facts. See how she responds." Another Redditor wrote, "What's wrong with basic communication, oh my god? You the poop hole for not asking the bride and listening to a random woman who obviously didn't like you. A bride isn't thinking about everyone else, but is enjoying her day. You are a part of the wedding, but not the main person, so why should she ask you when she's got other things to think about? You just could have told her, hey, your bridesmaid told me I need to vacate my room right away, so I'm not in any pictures, just so you know. Does the bridesmaid know where I'm relocating to? You would have known what was up and could go from there. Instead, you believed a woman who didn't like you, and you have no clue at all if the bride even knows about everything. Maybe the bridesmaid told her that you needed to leave due to something, so she's none the wiser?" Another one wrote, "I get how you feel and were verbally harassed by the bridesmaid. The thing is, I think the bride isn't aware of how you were treated by the bridesmaid. As a matter of fact, I think she was being lied to while she chased you off. What you should do is start off with asking her how the wedding was and what she thought was happening. So say, hey, I didn't really get a chance to ask how are you and what did you do at the wedding? This could open up a conversation and possibly get the answer you need." Well, this is the end of these interesting stories. If you guys have any thoughts or suggestions or an interesting story of your own, do share that in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the story, do like this video and subscribe to our channel. You guys can also support us by checking out the links in the video description and the channel's About section. You can watch these videos in the meantime. Hope you guys have a good day. Goodbye.